Okay, hello guys, this is LMS here, and what I'm working on today is a weed whacker conversion into an outboard motor. Now I've seen many different videos on YouTube regarding people and their similar projects and trying to turn one of these things into a viable outboard motor. Most of them are miserable failures, and some of them are successful. So I'm hoping that this one here would actually turn out to be a success. And from my earlier testing, I determined that actually this might just work the way it is intended to. So the gist of it is that this particular model, which is a Poulan Pro weed whacker, has the ability to take different attachments, and there's like a prune cutter or a branch cutter and a pruner and a blower, and then of course the actual weed whacker part. Sorry, it's a little dark in this garage right now, but bear with me. So what I have here is this part. Now this is just a copper pipe with some fittings on it. Taper it off near the end here, and I've actually fabricated this little propeller out of some spare metal that I had lying around. Just cut it off with a grinder and bent it. And what's inside of this thing is actually some threaded pipe or rod that at one end was with an angle grinder grinded to have this piece here, which is a square shape on the end of it. It's kind of hard to see in here, sorry. So basically that end just fits nice and snug on the receiving end of this weed whacker here. Okay, that's better. I can actually do that. Alright, so let's try it with this one too. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so the way this works now is the weed whacker does not get rendered useless from its original job. It can still continue life as a weed whacker while also serving the new purpose of working as a makeshift outboard motor. Okay, more to come. Okay, so the way this piece is made here is I've soldered this copper pipe, soldered the pieces onto this. So they're not going anywhere. And the way I make this actual shaft, which connects to the weed whacker, stay inside this casing is there is a, like I explained before, there's a threaded rod inside of it. Okay. Now this rod at about this juncture right here has a nut snugly tightened on there on the inside of this part here. So that will not allow the shaft to fall out of this casing so that it stays in there. So it's not going this way obviously because the prop is there, and it's not going this way because the nut is inside right about this part here. And it's nice and smooth, and it fits really nicely into this little divot here. So that it spins very nicely in there. You can grease it up a little bit, put some grease in there. And it works really well with minimal friction. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to be putting the propeller attachment onto the weed whacker. And the way it goes in is you just basically stick it in. Okay, push it down. You'll feel it pop right into place. And take this little tightener part here, tighten it all up so it stays on there nice and snugly. Okay, it's on there. And now the propeller shaft is connected to the shaft in the weed whacker. And it spins. It's right now it's attached, so it's got a little bit of tension on it, but it's spinning quite loosely and freely, just like it should be. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this up and we'll see how it works. So just bear with me for a second here while I put the phone down and start her up. Okay, don't go anywhere. It's moving around on me. Walking around on me. Alright. So let's press the gas here. Alright, so as you can see, it's working exactly the way it's supposed to. And let's just shut it off here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do some water testing with this. Actually, I already have, so I know the results are pretty good. It definitely doesn't stall out like in some of the other videos that you've probably seen, where they have people have attached a Minn Kota style trolling motor prop onto this apparatus, and it just doesn't seem to work. It just cuts out when it hits the water, and it just pushes too much water and causes this motor to stall out. Now this one definitely doesn't do that. This propeller is small enough that it definitely doesn't stall out. It works very well. Now the only thing that I am concerned about is there's a clutch in here, right in this part here, that from my research online seems to start slipping after a while, and the clutch will probably be rendered useless because there's just too much forces when this propeller is spinning in the water. It causes too much friction and the clutch ends up burning out. So what we're going to have to look at here is somehow locking this clutch up so as to prevent any slipping, and that'll be the next part of this project. And also along with that, I'm going to be cannibalizing some parts from a Best Buy trolling motor, like the bracket and everything else, and putting it on this weed whacker here. And also have to make a steering bar that'll attach here at some point here, so that this outboard can be steered on the boat with the throttle linkage trigger attached to that shaft. So that'll be the next part of this project, and I promise I will be doing water testing. Whether it fails or succeeds, I will provide at a later date a video of me using this on a boat, on a little Zodiac boat in the water. So rest assured, you're going to see that part coming up at some point. I'm not going to just leave it here like 90% of the people that make these things on YouTube do, because it's rather annoying actually. I would like to see the project brought to full completion, whether it's a success or a fail. So look forward to that, okay? Alright, this is Lawnmower Scientist, and signing off for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.